goodness. I'm looking at my Queen of Sweden here in front of our house, and I'm getting ready for the first flush of blooms here. And you know what, usually here in Connecticut, zone 6-7, my roses would bloom every time without cancellation. First weekend, well, around first weekend of June, the first week of June. But you know what, looking at the buds, how quickly they are becoming bigger and fatter, I have the feeling that my roses are going to bloom earlier. And you know, the trimming of the roses and the unfurling of the first leaves definitely was earlier this year for me here, maybe 2 weeks earlier. So I'm expecting maybe for Labor Day week, when everybody's visiting, maybe my roses would be starting their bloom. You never know. But today we are going to talk about important things you need to stay on top of during this time when major chores are done for the roses and we are just waiting for that beautiful first flush of blooms coming. During this time of year when roses are actively building their leaves, their canopy, forming the buds and getting ready to surprise us with those blooms. Every year I am surprised by the blooms of my roses. It is very important to stay on top of watering. And you know what, the beginner gardener might say, well, what's the big deal? The temperatures are not high, evaporation is not big there, roses are looking healthy, why do we need to water? Plus it's spring, it's supposed to be watering season. Well, right now in our area here in Connecticut, US, the last time we had that beautiful rain was quite a long time ago. And I'm seeing that plants are kind of hanging there, waiting for the next rain, which is going to come, I believe, in 4 or 5 days. So why is it important to stay on top of watering? Let's come and look into the inside of the rose stem. So what is happening with roses during time when there is no rain? Roses do need, or any plant, the roots need oxygen in soil. Roots, so very important not to walk around the area where your rose is planted and actively compact that soil, because 25% of soil space is supposed to be occupied by air. So air makes roots of the rose to breathe, so they're breathing, they're able to take water in. And what happens when water is moving up the stems? Because the process of transpiration is happening, water brings all the nutrients up the stems to the rose. When the nutrients are being dissolved in the water, in the soil, and being taken up with that water up the stems, and all the water is evaporating through the leaves. And that's how the plant operates, that's how our roses are operating. And 99% of all the nutrients are being taken by the roots from the soil. Some of the nutrients, rose or any other plant, can take from leaf surface and stem surface, but 99% of nutrients are being delivered to build up all this beautiful green canopy with the help of transpiration. And if we don't have water in that soil, the plant cannot dissolve, not the plant, but all the nutrients are not being dissolved. They're staying in the soil in dry condition. They're not ready for the plant to take. And as a result, our roses, in this very important time of the year when our roses are greatly dependent on nutrients, they don't get it. And what does rose do? Rose realizes that it's time to conserve energy, not invest into big blooms, smaller leaves. Maybe leaves might get diseased because plant might be stressed out. So I hope I persuaded you to look around your rose, touch the soil with your finger all the way down, like this amount, and see if the soil needs to be watered. Don't do watering every day, just a sprinkle. It's the big no-no of watering. You water roses deeply and every, I would say, third or fourth day when there is no rain to be expected. And by now I try to stay on top of mulching. I want to make sure that all my roses, the root area around the roses, are well mulched. And why do we do mulching? Well, we want to make sure that the soil is hydrated. We don't want to spend time watering, and water bills are quite high. So we want to save water, make sure that all the area around the rose is well hydrated and protected. And I didn't do several mulches yet. Several roses still need to be mulched, so I'm going to focus on that, preparing my roses for that hot time of the year when evaporation is really strong, and we want to make sure that a process is minimized. We want to keep that moisture inside the soil. Also, a lot of gardeners, especially beginner gardeners, they start panicking when they see that suddenly a rose cane is going dead and everything is yellowing, or some part of the rose is yellowing. And of course, by now all the trimming is done. It's a spring job. The main job of spring is trimming our roses. And sometimes we overlook a diseased cane. We are thinking that it's a healthy cane, but there can be a canker or damage and we don't see it. And of course, there are no leaves to rely on the foliage color. And that disease can progress and kill the stem. So don't worry, it's not a biggie. You just cut the stem out and let your rose live. Gardeners who spray their roses, now it's already time in the middle of spraying schedule. I use only natural sprays on my roses. I try to grow my roses organically, so the most what I would do, I will use neem oil and horticultural oil, and here's a link how I do it. And I let roses fight their own battles. So usually my mornings begin with walking around the garden, even if it's just that 5 minutes before the day begins. And it's important to have that, I wouldn't say daily routine, but a regular routine, just to see how roses are doing and noticing those daily changes in your garden. It's also, I find it very therapeutic, because you walk around, you focus on greenery, you see changes, you see how garden is progressing, and it's very relaxing, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. We'll see you in our next video, and happy gardening.